Welcome folks to the channel, Clunkers and Classics, where we are restoring the 72 Chevy Nova. In the last video, put on this quarter panel patch, took off this rigged up pile of rusty metal and Bondo somebody had rigged on there, and put on a brand new patch. I got a brand new patch for the other side, so I think we're going to start with that. This quarter panel I don't think has had a rigged up patch put on it, but it's pretty bad here and there. I won't go over in detail like I did the other side. The last video showed all that, so we'll just go over that real quick. We'll do that real quick. This back panel has been crushed in by got hit, I guess, in the back, and it looked like the bumper here just caved in this whole area here, and it looks like they pounded out and put some Bondo in this. See all this old, let me grab a screwdriver real quick, find one. Old Bondo and oh jeez. Now I planned on just fixing this. I can pound it out enough pretty straight and grind it down, but if it's too bad, if it's too rotted, I'll have to replace it. But until we get it ground down. Now what I used is this air chisel slash air hammer, and I got a long chisel deal, and I stuck a socket on the end, and then I put this in behind here and just hit it a few times. I don't know if you can see that. Pound it all out. Of course I got stuck by this brace, so that's what I'm going to do. So I pounded all this out because I wanted to get this straight here for the quarter panel patch. And right in here is dented in, where I'm going to have to get a screwdriver and kind of pull that out. Okay, so I got to do the same thing with this side. This side's just caved in. So I'm going to pound all that out with the hammer and get it straight. Then we're going to take off all the old Bondo and rust of this panel and redo it. Okay, and it's dented in here. This is probably from the old deck lid. The lock lid and everything was popped out. I think they took a crowbar here and just popped up the deck lid. So I have to get that out from the bottom. Okay, so they fixed this. I don't know what they did with the bumper, because the bumper was still hitting up here. Even though this panel here looks pretty straight, where the bumper mounts to, and the bumper brackets look pretty straight. So I'm not sure. We're gonna have to mess around. I don't know if I'm gonna need bumper brackets or what. I know the bumper's bent a little bit. Not too concerned about that right now. So it's gonna be in the mid-60s the next 4 days, I believe. Today's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It's gonna be mid-60s and nice. Except for Tuesday, it's going to be a little cloudy. And then Wednesday, the cold front comes in, and I mean a cold front. It's going to be high of like 28 or something, 28 or 32. And the next day after that too. So Wednesday, Thursday, it's just going to be cold. That's a 7-day forecast. I don't know what it's going to be like after that. I hope it's not a week's worth of that weather, because if it is, I'm out of here. Last year we got a cold snap in February, same time, and the only warm spot in the whole United States was Florida. So I hopped in my little cheap car here and drove to Florida for a week. Came back, it was 70 degrees. So if that happens, I'm doing it again. If it stays like that for a week, I can't get nothing done in that type of weather. So in the next 3 to 4 days, that's what this video will be. how much work we can get done in that time. And when I mean days, I mean like from noon to 4, noon to 5, not 8-10 hour days, because it's too cold in the morning. So the plan is to slick out this quarter panel, get it in primer, fix this rear panel, get it in primer, put on this quarter patch down here, get that in primer. Most likely slick out this whole quarter panel if we got time. And this deck lid, this is from the 68, it's got some rust here. I'm gonna grind that out and patch it. And this was a little dealer tag screws. We're gonna fill that in with I'm gonna fill that in and that in with that Dynaglass, which is what I used on this quarter panel patch. I like to put a skim of that first and then body filler on top of that. And like I said before in the other video, this Bondo here, they just put it on like spot putty to cover some scratches. So I don't really think it may have to be skimmed with Bondo. Well, it probably will be, because it's got these holes. There's a bunch of holes in here where they had aftermarket trim on it. Okay, so yeah, she's it's gonna be like that 78, guys. It's gonna be probably all skimmed, a little warpage there. So I don't know, maybe I'll concentrate on this back half, because that skimming and blocking is very, very time consuming. I'm gonna try to get the major stuff done. And then we can go to the roof. I don't know what happened to this roof. There's got old Bondo here. I think something must have fell on it, because this up here was a big old dent, and when I did the headliner I pounded it out. This, our masking tape covered up a couple little holes where they drilled some holes and used a dent puller. So I just covered that up so rain wouldn't get in it. We'll have to grind around it. And so there's a big dent here. That will be the next step, but most likely in another video. And it has all surface rust. We're going to strip all this down the metal and prime it. Most likely in another video, but that's how we're going here. We're going to progress from the back towards the front. We got I think this fender's okay. The other fender's a little rust patch we got to put in the bottom corner. Okay, so let me start pounding this out. Might show a few little clips of it and cutting this quarter panel out. But like I said, we won't go into much detail on this patch here because we've already went through it. I'll show you when I cut it out, see what kind of crap's under there, see if this inner wheel well is, it feels okay. The other side there, I still got to put a patch in it. But I figure if we got to do it the other side, we'll do it all at once. There's a little chunk here I had to cut out, so we're going to put in a little patch there too. Okay, so I'll be back in a little bit with that. An update on the 78. It's got good brakes, well, good brake pedal, but the rear half of the master cylinder was going empty, and it was really hard to find out what was wrong with it, and it was dripping out of the back of the master cylinder to the brake booster. So anyway, I got a new master cylinder for that. I'm not sure we're going to put that in. Got some supplies, some thinner, and this is new fuel line for the 72. I'm going to put an inline filter, and I got to reroute that gas line. It's kind of kinked. That's just a little thing. I also got some little carburetor clips I bought from eBay for the 72. I'm going to put them on here. Okay, I still haven't brought this down to the state to have them redo the VIN number on the title. It's one number off. It's been that way since '98, and it's supposed to have it has a 1. Beginning number is a 1, and on the title it's a 2. All the rest of the numbers are the same. They were closed throughout Christmas and New Year's. The earliest was like January 6th to bring it down there. It's like an hour and a half away. I have to trailer it down there, and I just haven't. You have to call in advance and set up a meeting on a Thursday, and I just haven't done it. So I don't know. I got to do that so I can get tags for it. That's the update on it. I don't know. One of these days I'll run it down there. Maybe on one of these cold days I'll just load it up on my trailer and bring it down there. If I can get the appointment set for a Thursday. That's the update on that one. I was working on my 85 Corvette here. It didn't really need anything. I ended up putting a motor in it in the summer. But the brakes went all the way to the floor. I couldn't bleed them with a one-man bleeder when my brother was over. Bled all the brakes, got perfect brakes now. But now the driver's window doesn't open. I actually wanted to put this on the road so I can drive it around. It'll be dependable and everything. Anyway, was working on that. Also, not exclusively on this Nova, but I'm trying. Okay, the other thing I wanted to mention, by the time this video comes out, I'm right almost at 2,000 subscribers and 10,000 views on the rebuilding the dash. So thanks everybody for watching that and for subscribing, although YouTube doesn't pay crap, especially January, February, March, they say, because it's some transfer of advertisers contracts or some crap like that, and you're getting the pay drop way down. Although I think the most I made was 140 a month in December, and even though the watch hours, subscribers, views, everything is way up, I should be making $200 this month, but it's like projected to be $98, so basically half. They're cutting, everybody's paying about half. But anyway, it's only averaging 100, 150 a month, and like I said, when I started I wanted to get enough to pay for this satellite internet, and then of course that thing went through the roof. It was supposed to have been 60 bucks a month. Now it's like 85 or 87 or something. So that's all the YouTube's paying for. It's not paying for, I'm not like these big YouTubers where I've watched a few videos here recently. They just buy these cars just for YouTube views and take a big loss on it when they sell it, or they pay too much for it, and it's just all for views. This channel will never be like that. This will always be building and working on a car that's worth way more than you put into it. Okay, now, like for instance, this car here, I forget what it was, 3,000, in between 3,000 and 3,500 is when I got into this, and I figure it's worth about 10. It's gonna have, I don't know yet, I haven't added it up. I won't probably till the end when it's done. But this is not going to be no $3,500 in it. It's going to be a lot more than that. It's probably most likely going to be over 5,000 after all said and done. And that's keeping her cheap. That's, you know, how I've been. I've fixed that dash, and instead of paying $300 for it, trying to save money here and there, not going completely cheap out on it, but it's still going to be well over 5,000. But this car's worth twice as what the 78 is, so it's worth it. This car will be worth, I don't know, 20 grand, and I'll have 5 in it. So that's what this channel's about. It's about making a profit on these cars. I'm keeping these cars. I don't plan on ever selling them, so it doesn't matter to me. I don't need the money. But if I ever did sell them, or if you viewers want to do it, buy one of these and sell it, you can make a lot of money doing it how I teach you, instead of watching them other guys, you know, like Goon Squad and all them. You know, Goon Squad just fixed up their TRX, and they came out with a video. It cost them $94,000 to buy and fix up that TRX, and the window stickers right in the car. $92,000. So you could have bought a brand new one for $92, but they got $94 in it. So they lost $2 grand. Well, it's not even worth what a new one is. It's already driven off the lot. Who knows what they lost on that. But they lost all their labor plus $2 grand. But they only do it for YouTube views. You know, they make a lot of money on YouTube, and they don't care if they lose money. I've been watching them for about a year, and I haven't seen them make any money on a car. They always lose their ass. So this made it a point that this channel will never be like that. You know, it'll never be popular like Goon Squad or anything. I don't have the personality for all that. But I just recording my own builds. I'd be doing this with or without YouTube. So that's what this channel will be about. It's just building these cars. I built most of these. I built not on YouTube. I just started YouTube, I think, back in last March or something. And I got a few of them on here, like this Nova last. And then this one. Okay, anyway, enough rambling. Let me get started on this, pounding out the back and cutting out that quarter, and I'll be back. Okay, guys, I got all the Bondo grinded out of this back panel. I haven't pulled it out yet. I'm going to use a hammer and dolly. This thing's pretty caved in. They just caved and paved it. So I'm going to pretty much hammer and dolly all that out the best I can. Just went over this with my disc grinder here. It's a soft pad. And I'm going to use that cutting. I guess I got it. No, right here. With my cutting wheel. I'm just going to go over that. And maybe a little die grinder too with the same type of wheel to get all this rust and hair out best I can. And then I'll spray it with the rust neutralizer. But yeah, I got to dolly up. This is all pushed up. I'm going to dolly all that down. Pull that up. Anyway, I just wanted to see what was underneath of it. If this was, you know, an SS original worth, you know, 2 or 3 times what it's going to be worth, I'd replace that. You know, I'd put new quarters on it and all new sheet metal, but to me it's really not worth it. And I'll fix it and it'll last just as well as a new one. I'm down here in the south. If I was up in the Rust Belt, I'd probably replace it all and triple undercoat it, you know. Okay, down here, a little bit different than the other side. The other side, they'd put a piece of metal in here, didn't even weld it, and just bondoed over it. But this, you can see, has been all rotted out. I'm going to tap it here with a hammer so you can see. I didn't grind it all out because I might waste it. All this bondo will fall out here. You can see it all. You can see all the... it is dented in right here and been filled in. I don't know, that's probably from the wreck where it got hit right here. Dented that in, so I have to dolly that out. But it's pretty much going to be like the other side. I'm going to cut the patch panel here, and then same place as the other one right here. And you can see here there's rust bubbles, so we'll catch our rust holes, so we'll catch right above there, like the other side. So let me cut that out, and we'll check the inside out, see how much crap comes out of there, and we'll have to paint the inside of that black before we put the new one on. And the new one's right here, just like the other side. There, I'll just lay it up here so you can see it. Like that. But we're going to trim it. Like I said, we're going to trim it below the marker light. Okay, so I'll be back and make some more updates. Okay, let's take a peek at this together. I sliced it just down here, crossed in there. That's for the tail lights. But yeah, that's, like I said in the other video, that's why I don't like that design. Look at all this crap. Just, and they're all their old Bondo. They just filled in and rust with Bondo. Okay, so need to weld it to this lip here, so I'm going to be I'll be cutting it down here and bending this back. The other lip was bent too. Bend that back, grind out the welds here. There should be some welds here. Grind them off just like I did the other side. Peel it. Same with here. A couple spot welds there. Cut this, peel this off, and then another big chunk of Bondo. Hard to tell if there's any rust on this inner part, but if there is, I'll do the other side and just put some seam sealer in there and paint it up. It doesn't look like this corner is rotted out like the other side. Might be a little bit. Yeah, there's probably a little bit along the bottom. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay guys, I got it all ground out and sprayed some rust neutralizer on it. This stuff here. Let that dry overnight. And then I'm gonna scuff her down and lay some Bondo. I'm really torn. I really should probably get in a whole new piece. I don't know. And sprayed some down here. Fixing to paint that black. And then cut out the piece here and put it on. And I'm going to stop here for a little while. I'm going to go ahead and change this fuel hose and filter here, because the factory line comes right up to here, yet the fuel pump's there. So I got this strung up because it was kinked. It still is, kinda. It's not letting in enough fuel. I don't know why, because this car originally come with a 6, and that's a 6-cylinder line and fuel pump. So I think I'm gonna have to cut it back here and run it straight there with the filter in there. But anyway, I'm gonna do that little job right now. Got the filter and line there. I'll be back. Okay guys, I did that. I'd like to put double clamps on the ends there, just to be on the safe side. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. A couple seconds for you guys. Okay guys, next day. Ready to lay some Bondo. Put some Bondo here. Put it in the shade. It's pretty sunny out here in a t-shirt. Just gonna fill in the bigger spots. Use these and don't mix a whole bunch up at once when you're fixing a dent. Just fill in the deepest spots first, and then I'm gonna use a file when it starts to dry, which I'll show you here in a little bit. And kind of file it down and then do another coat. Let me put some of this on. I looked, cheapest I found this taillight panel for was about 132 bucks with tax and shipping and everything. But that was through Jegs, and it would take 2 weeks to get here. Actually 2 weeks and a couple of days, it said. There was other ones on there for like 150, 160 with 4-day shipping. So they're available, but you know, if I'm gonna buy one, it'd be the $120 plus tax one. But I don't want to wait 2 weeks. I think this will be okay. It's not, you know, it'll crack or something if it gets hit again. That's what happened with this one. I think it got hit twice. I don't really like putting on, especially on this car. If it was a little cheap car that I was selling, I might put this much Bondo on, but I'm pretty confident that it'll be all right. So that's going to be the first one there, and then I'm going to use a file. I'll show you here in a little bit. Once that tacks up, you do it when it's not completely dry, and you just kind of shape it. But see, this is actually a pretty easy one to fix because it's all flat. It's really no, well, flat and flat. Okay, so I'll be back in a minute. Okay, this is a Bondo file here. Call it a cheese grater. And you run it along here and take off the top layer. Just save yourself a lot of sanding and a lot of sandpaper by doing this. Okay, that's probably good for the first coat. Okay, then basically what you do is you put another skim on there, do the same thing, and do it 2 or 3 more times, and then you'll use a block sander or a DA and rough it in real flat, then another skim coat and block it down. It's ready for primer. I'll be back. Okay guys, put a couple of skims on there. Still sees a little bit of low spots. Probably one more skim, and then I'm going to go over it with the DA and a block. And then it probably just needs a couple little skims and up in here. But anyway, that's coming along. Got the quarter panel patch all ready to go, pretty much just like the other side. Drilled some holes along the bottom, the side there, right there. I always hit it with a little grinder, just get the edges off so it'll weld better. Okay, I just put a little piece of masking tape where the welds are gonna go. Yeah, because I'm fixing to paint it black. So that goes up, something like that. Okay. And then, just like the other side, we're going to paint all this black in here. Give it a couple of good coats. It did need a little, it's going to need a little patch in there, but I'm going to do that later, just like the other side. Have to get her jacked up and tires off and all that. Anyway, put a couple of coats of that on there. Man, it is hot out here. This Bondo's drying. It's like friggin' 70 degrees out. I'm in a t-shirt here. Got to be over 70. January 30th. Feel sorry for you guys up on the East Coast that got a couple of feet of snow. But oh well. I moved out of the... I grew up in Canada. I moved down here in the South, and pretty much as soon as I was old enough, had a little Nova like this, packed my tools, my clothes in the back, and I was gone to Texas. Had to get away from all that liberal bullshit and no jobs and cold weather, especially the cold weather. I did spend 2 winters up in Alberta, minus 40. Feel bad for Dan, DD Speed Shop. He's huddled up in his garage with about 3 heaters going, minus 30. Breathing in all that old Nomad paint dust and crap. I'm out here in the fresh air, right where I want to be. Don't have to, but anyway, the only problem is the football game's about to start here. I might have to miss half the Kansas City game. I want to watch that game. But anyway, I'll be back in a little while when I'll get this panel here screwed on there. Let the paint dry for a little bit. and come back when I'm ready to weld and block this back piece. So I'll be back. What you doing, kitty? Okay guys, about to weld this panel on. It's pretty flush. I didn't use no screws last time, but I'm gonna set you up here as long as kitty don't jump up here and knock it over. About the best I can do. Oh, I forgot to mention old Peg there, bias plies and zip ties there. He's out there trying to do cold starts in minus 47-degree weather in Alberta. Crazy bastard. Okay. I know I should have welding glasses on, but all I'm using is this and blink a lot. So, safety first. Use gloves and a helmet there if you want, but if you're feeling risky. And if you haven't watched the other video, I'm using my $150 Harbor Freight welder. Flux cord. I don't know if you can hear me that far away, but my cheap little camera can't use an external mic with it, so I can't afford a more expensive camera. You have to bear with me. Until YouTube starts paying me more, I'll just have to deal with this little camera. I'll make any more, I'll make any big money, I'll buy a fancy camera with the external mic and all that, but get a drone flying around and shit. Yeah, if you haven't watched the last video, just go around every couple inches. You don't want to get it too hot and warp it all. So just kind of bounce around it and let the air dry it. Might be a long video, guys. Some of y'all have been asking for longer videos like I used to do, but I'll just mix it up. Do probably mostly 20-30 minute type. Do some longer ones. Okay, you guys get the gist of it. 7 minutes. But anyway, yeah, you just want to, just like I said in the last video, let it cool down and then go in between, keep going in between. But that's it's basically gonna be like the other side, so I'll spare you. Go ahead and watch the last video if you want to see the whole thing. But I'll finish welding that, grind it. Okay, and then I'll come back here in a little bit and we'll sand this back piece here and get it blocked out. Just in there watching the game. I didn't realize it started earlier than I thought, but looks like Kansas City's gonna take it. Okay, so yeah, that quarter we're gonna get welded on, then the back panel, and then we're gonna start on this one. Probably not all today, but anyway, I'll be back. Okay guys, it's the next day. Can't believe them Chiefs there lost 21-3 lead, blew it. Oh well, congrats to the Rams and Bengals. Probably won't be watching it, but okay, I got all this welded and ground down. I'm gonna put a little Dynaglass, Bondo glass stuff, kind of like this side here. Did a little patch right here. I'm gonna put some Bondo glass in there too. Okay, I'm gonna set you up on the tripod. I'm gonna sand this rear panel with my electric DA. I don't have any 40 grit, so I'm just gonna use some 80 grit, be good enough. And then I'm gonna switch to the my flexible grinder here, and we're gonna grind this Bondo out and skim over that Bondo glass. And then we're gonna skim it with body filler. So set you up on the homemade tripod here for a few minutes. Okay, I gotta get a new disc. But basically I'm just gonna grind all this out here and get it all down to shiny metal like this. And then we're just gonna skim over it with body filler. Okay, and this I'm gonna go over this a little bit better, but you can see the low spots here. And I think the top's pretty good. I'm gonna do a little bit more, and then it'll probably just be another skim over there. Okay, so I'll be back when I get some more done. Okay guys, pretty much got that rear panel done. Might have to go over a few little spots and prime it tomorrow. Got all the paint off here, and then a little rust embedded in there, so I sprayed a little rust neutralizer. I'm probably just going to do this half because I gotta try to get everything done tomorrow before the cold front comes in. Got that little spot I forgot to do, put a little Dynaglass there. But yeah, that's it for today, and I'll be back tomorrow, a couple seconds for you guys, and we'll finish this out and prime the back of it. So see you later. Okay guys, it's the next day, the end of the day, and I didn't get as much done as I'd like to. I didn't get that slicked out down there, but this back part, tail panel is done, and this half the quarter panel is done. That's as far as I got. Time's running out. It's cold front's coming in tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow about noon, and it's going to be cold. High of like 27 tomorrow, and the next day is going to be not much better, but it should, after that it'll warm up a little bit, but I'm not sure how much. Anyway, put some primer on it using some 2-part epoxy primer. My gun's not spraying very good. It needs to be cleaned out, but I don't know if we're gonna get any it's cloudy. It's like 65 right now, cloudy. And if there's gonna be rain, it's gonna be tonight, and it's gonna freeze tomorrow. So we're probably gonna get some ice. But I've stocked up on food. I hibernate for a few days. Yeah, it's just roughed in with 80. I didn't have time. Usually I'd go over it with 180. But I didn't have time. Like I said, it's past 5 right now. So next video we'll get all the ass end completely done. But I got a lot done in this video. But it's always, I wish there was more. Got this little spot here done. Yeah, we're gonna strip the trunk. As you can see, I don't know if it's been painted that Robin's eggs blue twice and then dark blue. But we're going to strip the whole trunk lid down to metal. I think there's a couple of little hail dents in it, but it's not bad. I'm just going to put some in this quarter here. You can see all the Bondo, all that old Bondo needs to be all stripped. Then I'm going to put a little prime on here just to protect the bare metal in case it does rain. Gonna put on a couple of coats for now. This will all have to be blocked out and reprimed. This is just a rough coat. Okay, I'm gonna put on another coat. I think I got enough primer for another coat. So I guess that'll be it for now. I don't know when I can get the next video out. At the end of the week, it's gonna, when it warms up, it's only gonna be in the 40s, but I don't know for how long. It'll be like 42, 47 on the weekend. And you know me, I don't even like 40s until it gets above 50 and sunny. So I don't know when the next video will be out. Might be a week or two. So I know this one's probably going to be long. But some of y'all wanted a longer video, so here it is. This body work just takes a lot of time, guys. If you haven't done it before, a lot of block stripping and body work, body filler, blocking, sanding, priming, blocking again, sanding, primering it again. But we'll get through it. We're working our way from the back to the front. A little kitty up here watching me, supervising. What you doing, kitty? You gonna say hi? Say hi, kitty. My poor old hound dog is going, she's about 10 now, she's going deaf. She can't even hear me unless I yell. Puppy! There she goes. Pup! I don't know, I might have to take her to the vet, guys. I've never had a dog that went deaf before, but she can hear me if I clap my hands real loud or yell real loud. So anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Subscribe. Like I said, I'm almost at 2,000. Oh, 2,000 subscribers, so thanks everybody for subscribing. And like, comment, share, all that stuff. And we will see y'all next video. Stay warm, everybody.